Class, good morning. Okay, so today in our chemistry, we are going to start learning topic number 1, which is the introduction to chemistry 50/70. Now, before we can start learning our lesson for today in details, I would like you to understand that this chemistry 50/70 is a pure science. So, from this point on, you must know that whatever we are going to be learning will be pure chemistry. Now that you have understood that aspect, it is now time for us to understand what the word chemistry means. So, by definition, chemistry is the study of matter and how this matter behaves. So, if a question comes asking you to define the word chemistry, you must say that chemistry is simply the study of matter and the behavior of this matter. Okay? Now that you have understood the definition of chemistry, it is now important for you to understand the definition of the word matter. Remember, when we are learning about chemistry, we want to study this matter and how this matter behaves. But then a question comes, what is matter? To answer that question, you must understand that matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Okay? So, if a question comes asking you to, give a definition of the word matter, you must simply say that matter is anything that has mass and also it occupies space. Once you've understood this, you must also know that there are 3 states of matter. These 3 states of matter are number 1, solids, number 2, liquids, and then number 3, gases. These are the 3 forms of matter that we have on earth today. Now, before you proceed into your study to this introduction to chemistry, I would like you to know that you must focus, your studies on the properties of each state of matter that I've just taught you right here. In other words, you must understand the characteristics or properties of solids. You must do the same for liquids and gases. Now that I've gotten this out of the way, we must now study solids and their characteristics. We want to understand what solids are all about. Under this aspect, I would like you to know that at a given temperature, solids, number 1, have a fixed shape. To be fixed means not to change. So when you get a solid, such as a stone, you are going to find that it will maintain its shape. The shape of a solid is fixed. It doesn't change. The second characteristic of solids is that they have a fixed volume. The amount of space that a solid takes up doesn't change as long as nothing disturbs it. If you get a stone today and then you put it on the table in your sitting room or in your living room if you like, and then you come back 10 years later, if all things remain equal, the volume of that solid will remain fixed. In other words, it won't change. That is what we mean when we say that the volume of a solid remains fixed. The third characteristic of solids is that they cannot be compressed. You cannot compress a solid by applying pressure on it. If you get a stone and then you try to apply pressure on that stone, you will find that the stone is incompressible. You cannot compress it. So, as you study on solids, these are the physical characteristics or properties that you must understand. Examples of solids are stones, of course, a block of wood, and then an iron bar, and many others are solids. But these ones are the most common examples. Once you have understood this, we can now go to liquids and their characteristics. At a given temperature, liquids, number one, have no fixed shape. Instead, liquids will always take the shape of the container where they are placed. Let me explain this so that you understand. When you get a liquid such as water, and then you place that water in a container that is shaped like a square, the water will take the shape of that particular, container. If you take the same water and place it in a container that is shaped like a banana, that water will take the shape of, a banana. So what we mean is that liquids will not have a fixed shape. The shape of a liquid changes depending on the container where that liquid is placed. I hope you are understanding this particular point. The second thing, or the second characteristic about liquids, is that they have a fixed volume. As long as nothing changes, or as long as all things remain equal, the volume of a liquid will remain fixed. It will not change. The third characteristic about liquid is that just like solids, liquids cannot be compressed. Liquids cannot be compressed. So as you study on liquids, these are some of the physical characteristics or properties that you are expected to understand. Once you have understood this, we can now go and look at the physical characteristics or properties of gases. Now, at a given temperature, gases have no fixed shape. Okay? The shape of a gas constantly changes. A gas will never have a fixed shape. Okay? The second point on the characteristics of gases is that they have no fixed volume. What you are going to discover is that a gas spreads in all directions to fill up every available space in a given container. So when it comes to a gas, it will fill up all the spaces that are available. That is why a gas doesn't have a fixed volume. So gases have no fixed shape, and also they have no fixed volume. They fill up every container to the brim. The third characteristic when it comes to gases is that gases can be compressed. You can get any gas, put it in a container, and you're going to discover that when you apply pressure on that gas will be compressed. Okay? So when it comes to these three states of matter, only gases can be compressed. Examples of gases are, number one, oxygen is a gas, hydrogen is a gas, and then we have air also, which is a mixture of gases. You find that in air there is carbon dioxide, which is another gas, nitrogen, which is another gas. Oxygen is also part of air. So air is a mixture of gases. I hope you have understood everything that I've taught in this particular lesson. For me to see whether you have understood what I've just taught or not, I would like you to try out this first assignment on matter. As per custom, once you are done writing all your answers to this assignment, send them to my WhatsApp number so that I can mark your work. At this point, I would like to wish you a good day. I'm going to see you again later.